You've maintained your silence, stood firm, and given her the space to feel your absence. But now comes the most crucial phase. If handled improperly, all your efforts could unravel. In this video, I'll guide you through the steps to turn her curiosity into action, rekindle the connection, and solidify your role as the high-value man she'll never want to let go of. Stick with me, because the next moves are the ones that truly matter. Why no contact is only the beginning. No contact is not the end game. It's the setup for everything that follows. Think of it as hitting the reset button on your dynamic. By stepping back, you've created space for her to reflect, miss you, and wonder about your next move. But this silence is not the strategy in itself, it's the foundation. What you do now will determine whether you've been preparing for success or setting yourself up for failure. When you first go no contact, it's like triggering an emotional pendulum. Initially, she might feel empowered, even vindicated by your withdrawal. But as time stretches on, that certainty often turns into curiosity, then doubt. She begins to wonder, was he serious? Is he really gone for good? These thoughts make her think about you more, setting the stage for your eventual return. However, the way you break that silence is critical. If you approach it weakly or impulsively, you risk undoing all the progress you've made. That's why it's vital to have a plan, a well-thought-out strategy that communicates your value without coming across as desperate or reactive. Consider the psychological impact of no contact. It's not just about absence, it's about contrast. Your silence contrasts sharply with the noise of everyday life, making you stand out in her mind. But this period also gives you a chance to elevate yourself. Are you using this time wisely? Have you focused on personal growth, building your confidence, or pursuing new passions? This self-improvement will not only make you more attractive when you re-engage, but also reinforce the message that your absence was intentional, not reactive. Remember, no contact is the reset, not the resolution. It's the opening act of a longer play. Your next move must be calculated, purposeful, and reflective of the high-value individual you've become. With the right steps, you can transform her curiosity into a renewed desire, making her see you in a way she hasn't before. Now that you've set the stage, it's time to take control of the narrative, and that starts with observing her next moves. Observing her first moves. The moments following no contact are a treasure trove of insight. How she behaves now can reveal her true feelings and intentions. Your role in this phase is that of an observer. Pay attention to what she does, not just what she says. Does she suddenly text you out of the blue, like your social media posts? Perhaps she begins posting content that seems like it's meant for you. These small actions might seem insignificant at first glance, but they're often signals, breadcrumbs she's leaving to gauge your reaction. However, this is not the time to rush to conclusions. Every move she makes needs to be carefully analyzed before you respond. For example, if she sends a casual, "Hey," it might feel like a small gesture, but it's a deliberate step on her part to reopen communication. Your response here is critical. Replying too quickly or enthusiastically can make you appear too eager, undoing the hard-won progress of no contact. Instead, a measured, confident response shows that you've maintained your composure and value during the silence. Even her lack of response can be telling. Silence doesn't necessarily mean she's moved on. Often, it's a reflection of her mirroring your actions, testing whether you'll break the silence first. This is why patience is your greatest asset at this stage. Resist the urge to panic or act impulsively. Instead, use this time to focus on yourself. Double down on personal growth, pursue your interests, and showcase the life you're building, with or without her. Remember, high-value men don't just react, they strategize. Observing her actions without overanalyzing or overreacting demonstrates confidence and emotional intelligence. This is what sets you apart and reinforces the idea that reconnecting with you is a privilege, not a given. By maintaining this mindset, you not only protect the progress you've made, but also lay the groundwork for reigniting the attraction on your terms. Now that you've assessed her initial moves, it's time to take the next step, subtly reigniting the connection without losing the upper hand. Reigniting the attraction. Now that you've observed her moves and gathered insights, it's time to shift gears and subtly reignite the connection. This step isn't about grand gestures or overt displays of affection. Instead, it's about creating intrigue and drawing her back into the dynamic naturally. Start with a light, confident approach when responding to her outreach. For instance, if she sends a message, something as simple as, "Hey, it's been a while. How have you been?" can set the right tone. The key is to avoid overloading the conversation with emotion or diving into heavy topics. Keep the exchange breezy yet meaningful, a balance that invites engagement without putting pressure on her. This stage is also about showcasing your growth. If you've taken up a new hobby, achieved a personal milestone, or embarked on an exciting journey during the no-contact period, let these updates surface naturally in conversation. For example, mentioning in passing that you've started learning guitar or recently completed a challenging project at work can pique her interest. These details signal that you've been thriving independently, reinforcing your value. Subtlety is your greatest ally here. Avoid bombarding her with updates or trying to sell your progress. Instead, focus on creating moments that remind her why she was drawn to you in the first place. A sense of mystery combined with visible self-improvement is a powerful combination. She should feel curious and intrigued, eager to learn more about this evolved version of you. Reigniting attraction is a process, not a single action. Each interaction should build on the last, steadily increasing her desire to reconnect. By maintaining a composed and confident demeanor, you not only reignite the spark, but also reinforce the notion that your presence in her life is a privilege. Once you've established this renewed connection, it's time to use curiosity as your next strategic tool. Building curiosity. Curiosity is one of the most potent emotions when it comes to reigniting attraction. The less she knows about your life during this period, the more intrigued she'll become. However, this doesn't mean completely vanishing from her radar. It's about being selective in what you reveal and how you reveal it. Social media, for example, can be a subtle yet powerful tool. Instead of posting frequently or overtly, focus on sharing glimpses of an engaging, fulfilling life. A photo of a hike on a scenic trail, a snapshot of a personal achievement, or a candid moment with friends can go a long way. These updates subtly communicate that you're thriving without her, sparking her curiosity and encouraging her to wonder what else she might be missing, but tread carefully. Overdoing it can make you seem like you're seeking validation. The goal is to strike a balance, give her just enough to spark her imagination while maintaining an air of mystery. Let her fill in the gaps and come to her own conclusions, which will often work in your favor. When you do communicate, keep your interactions concise yet engaging. If she asks what you've been up to, don't lay everything out on the table. Instead, offer a glimpse and leave her wanting more. For example, say, "A lot of exciting things, actually. I'll have to tell you about it sometime." This response not only piques her curiosity, but also positions you as someone who has a lot going on, someone worth knowing more about. Curiosity also extends to how you engage with her directly. Avoid being overly available or predictable. If she reaches out, don't always respond immediately. Give her time to wonder what you're doing or why you haven't replied yet. This subtle unpredictability adds an element of excitement and keeps her invested in the interaction. Remember, the goal here is to make her see you as someone who is constantly growing and evolving. By withholding just enough information, you maintain the upper hand and keep the dynamic interesting. Once her curiosity is piqued, the next step is to maintain emotional balance, ensuring that you don't lose the progress you've made while deepening the connection on your terms. Maintaining emotional balance. Reconnecting after a period of no contact can be an emotional roller coaster, but maintaining your composure is essential to sustaining the progress you've made. Emotional balance is about showing confidence and control, regardless of how the situation unfolds. First, resist the temptation to rush. If she reaches out enthusiastically, it's easy to let excitement take over and reply instantly or overcommit your time. Similarly, if her responses are lukewarm, you might feel the urge to overcompensate. Neither of these reactions serves your long-term goals. Instead, stay consistent. Respond thoughtfully and without haste, signaling that while you're open to reconnecting, you're not desperate. This emotional steadiness also means setting boundaries. For instance, if she brings up past conflicts or tries to test your patience, respond calmly and assertively. Show that you've grown emotionally and are not easily rattled. By doing so, you demonstrate maturity and reinforce your value. High-value individuals don't let external circumstances dictate their emotional state, and that's a quality she will find deeply attractive. Another critical aspect of emotional balance is not losing sight of your own worth. Remember, this phase is not about proving yourself to her. It's about showing her that you've moved forward with confidence and strength. Focus on your goals, passions, and self-improvement, and let those priorities shine through in your interactions. Maintaining emotional balance doesn't mean being aloof or distant. It's about being composed, deliberate, and unwavering in your self-respect. This steadiness creates an environment of trust and security, making her feel drawn to the solid foundation you provide. By staying in control of your emotions, you shift the dynamic in your favor and set the tone for how the relationship might evolve moving forward. Once you've established this emotional equilibrium, the next step is to redefine the dynamics of the relationship. Redefining the dynamics. Now that you've established emotional balance, it's time to redefine the dynamics of the relationship. This phase is about creating a new standard, one where mutual respect and investment form the foundation of your connection. The first step is to shift the focus. Instead of centering the relationship around her, it's time to prioritize mutual effort. Relationships thrive when both individuals bring value, and now is the moment to communicate, both subtly and explicitly, that this is a two-way street. When she reaches out, acknowledge her efforts, but don't fall into the trap of over-validating. For example, if she suggests meeting, respond with something like, "That sounds great. Let me check my schedule and get back to you." This approach conveys that while you're interested, you're not abandoning your own priorities. It reinforces the idea that your time is valuable, making her work to earn a place in it. Additionally, encourage her to invest emotionally. This doesn't mean playing games, but rather creating opportunities for her to take initiative. If she wants to rebuild the connection, let her actions reflect that. Pay attention to whether she respects your boundaries, values your input, and makes an effort to meet you halfway. These signs indicate that she's genuinely invested in the relationship. Redefining the dynamics also involves maintaining the growth and independence you've cultivated during no contact. Share glimpses of your life that demonstrate your self-improvement, but avoid overexposing yourself. For instance, if you've taken up a new hobby or achieved a personal milestone, let these updates come up naturally in conversation. This reinforces the idea that you're thriving and that being with you is a privilege, not a guarantee. Remember, this phase is about balance. Be open and approachable, but don't compromise your standards. By holding her accountable for contributing to the relationship's growth, you create a dynamic where both parties feel valued and appreciated. This approach not only strengthens the connection, but also ensures that the relationship is built on a foundation of equality and respect. With the dynamics redefined, the next step is to solidify your position as someone she can't replace. Solidifying your position. Now that the dynamics have shifted and mutual effort is on the table, it's time to establish yourself as someone irreplaceable. This isn't about trying to prove your worth. It's about embodying the qualities that make you undeniably unique and desirable. Start by showcasing your growth in ways that resonate with her. Whether it's through casual conversations or subtle actions, let her see the confident, ambitious individual you've become. For example, if you've recently achieved a milestone, like advancing in your career or mastering a skill, weave it naturally into your interactions. This isn't about bragging, it's about demonstrating that you are continuously evolving and that being with you means being part of a dynamic and forward-moving life. Another key to solidifying your position is consistency. High-value individuals are reliable, emotionally steady, and true to their word. Show her that your actions align with your words, whether it's following through on plans or maintaining the boundaries you've set. This builds trust and deepens her sense of respect and admiration for you. Additionally, foster a sense of shared vision. People are drawn to those who have a clear sense of purpose and direction. Share your aspirations and invite her to be part of them, but ensure that these goals remain authentically yours. For instance, if you're passionate about starting a business or exploring a creative project, let your enthusiasm shine through. This not only inspires her, but also positions you as someone she wants to align with. However, it's equally important to maintain an element of mystery. Don't reveal everything at once. Leave room for her to wonder and discover more about you over time. This intrigue keeps the relationship dynamic and exciting, ensuring that her curiosity and interest continue to grow. Finally, remember that solidifying your position is not about placing her on a pedestal or seeking her validation. It's about owning your value and demonstrating through your actions and demeanor that you're a man who knows his worth. When she recognizes that being with you is a privilege, not a right, the dynamic naturally shifts in your favor. With your position solidified, the final step is to create a vision for the future, one that she's eager to be part of. Creating a vision for the future. The final step in this journey is to create a vision for the future, one so compelling that she wants to be part of it. This isn't about manipulation, it's about authenticity. People are naturally drawn to those who have a clear direction and purpose. By articulating your goals and aspirations, you give her a reason to see you as not just a partner, but a leader in a shared adventure. Start by clarifying your own vision. What does the next year, 5 years, or decade look like for you? What are the personal and professional milestones you aim to achieve? When you have a concrete sense of your direction, you can confidently communicate it to her in a way that inspires. In conversations, let your passion and enthusiasm shine. Talk about the things that excite you, whether it's a career move, a creative project, or a personal mission. For example, if you're planning to travel, share your excitement about the places you want to visit and the experiences you're looking forward to. This doesn't just show ambition, it demonstrates that you have a fulfilling life she can envision herself being part of. Equally important is involving her in this vision, but subtly. Instead of directly asking her to align with your goals, create an environment where she feels naturally drawn to them. For instance, if you're working on a fitness goal, casually mention how rewarding it's been and suggest a shared activity like hiking or a fun class. These small inclusions make her feel valued and part of your evolving story. It's also crucial to remain adaptable. While having a clear vision is important, being open to her ideas and aspirations shows that you value her input and see her as a partner, not just a spectator. A collaborative approach strengthens the bond and creates a dynamic where both of you feel invested in the future you're building together. Remember, creating a compelling vision isn't about selling a fantasy. It's about sharing a realistic yet exciting picture of what life with you looks like. By combining ambition, inclusivity, and adaptability, you set the stage for a connection that feels not only meaningful, but also inspiring. Thank you for joining me on this journey to understanding and navigating the critical post-no-contact phase. By staying composed, focusing on growth, and creating a vision for the future, you've equipped yourself with the tools to not just rekindle a connection, but to elevate it to a whole new level. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on relationships, self-improvement, and personal growth. Together, we'll keep building the confidence and skills needed to thrive in every aspect of life. See you in the next one.